Imagine it's 2 a.m. You can't sleep, you're staring at a reflection you barely recognize. You punched a number into a calculator that glows like a verdict. You type in your age, your current savings, and your income, and then you see it. The number you're supposed to have by now. And you felt you were nowhere close. If that hit home, pause the video right now. Seriously, pause it, because I need you to hear me out on this. You are not broken. You are not a failure. You've just been playing a game you didn't know had different rules. Turning 40 with little to no savings isn't a death sentence for your retirement. It's a wake-up call. And here is the psychological shift that changes everything. Panic is a terrible investor, but urgency is the best one. Welcome to Zariah Finance. This is the place where I decode the complex world of money so you can stop letting banks control your future and start building a life you actually deserve. If that sounds like the kind of future you want, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's build something together. Why 40 feels like a deadline. There is a reason why 40 is the number that scares us. It's not just a birthday, it's a financial audit by society. By 40, the excuses of our 20s, I'm just starting, I have student loans, I'll get to it next year, they lose their validity. By 40, the market expects you to have figured it out. According to money expert Ramit Sethi, by the time you hit this decade, you shouldn't just be thinking about money. Your money should be running on autopilot so you can live your life. But here is the data that probably matches your anxiety. A bank rate survey found that for 6 out of the last 7 years, the #1 financial regret of Americans is not starting retirement savings early enough. You are in the majority. But here's the thing about your 40s. Financially, it's what I call the messy middle. Your income is likely at its peak, but so are your expenses. You've got kids who need braces, parents who need care, and a lifestyle that has quietly inflated on you. So today, we are going to do 2 things. First, we are going to look at the hard numbers, the milestones you should have hit by now. And then we're going to build the blueprint to catch up. Because you still have time, but you have 0 time to waste. Let's start with the foundation. If you are 40 and you are still carrying high-interest debt, specifically debt above 6 to 8% interest, you are not just in debt, you're burning your future at the stake. We look at the Federal Reserve data and we see the average credit card interest rates hovering around 21%. 21%! If you're paying that, every single dollar you put into a retirement account is actually a losing battle. You're essentially borrowing from your future at 21% to invest at a hopeful 8 or 9%. The math doesn't math. By 40, high-interest debt should be extinct in your life. It's the financial equivalent of a dodo bird. Gone. Simultaneously, you need what Sethi calls a no-brainer emergency fund, not the measly $1,000 we recommend for people in their 20s. By 40, if you have dependents, a mortgage, and a career, you need 6 months to a year of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account. Why? Because the emergency fund isn't for emergencies, it's for your sanity. It's the wall that stops a flat tire from becoming a financial crisis that puts you back on the credit card float. If you don't have this by 40, you are living in a house of cards. All right, let's rip off the Band-Aid, the retirement savings milestone. Most financial institutions, including Fidelity, use a simple rule of thumb. By age 30, you should have 1x your annual salary saved. By 40, you should have 3x your salary saved. So if you make $100,000, you should have $300,000 in retirement accounts. If you make $70,000, you're looking at about $210,000. If you just choked on your coffee, I get it. The data shows that the median retirement savings for folks in their early 40s is actually closer to $140,000. That means half have even less. The average is dragged up by the high earners and the super savers. But here is the psychological trap I want you to avoid. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the thief of action. Just because the average is low doesn't mean you are safe. We aren't trying to be average. Average in America means retiring at 65 with just enough to survive, praying you don't get sick. We're trying to build wealth so that money is the last thing you worry about. If you're 40 and you have $50,000 saved when you should have $300,000, you are behind. Let's just call it what it is. But here's the good news. You are not behind in a race you can't win. You are just late to a train that hasn't left the station. Money in the bank is obvious, but there are two invisible milestones that 40-year-olds overlook, and they are fatal. First, career mastery. Ramit Sethi points out that most wealthy people didn't get rich by clipping coupons. They got rich by earning more. By 40, you should have moved from being a worker to a strategist. You should know your value. You should be interviewing for jobs even if you aren't looking, just to keep your skills sharp. If you're 40 and you haven't negotiated a raise or upgraded your skills in 5 years, you are slowly going backwards due to inflation. Second, the will. I know, boring. But listen to this. If you have kids and you die without a will at 41, the state decides who raises your children, not you, the state. By 40, you need a will, you need beneficiaries named on your accounts, and you need to look at life insurance. It's not about dying, it's about making sure the people you love aren't financially destroyed when you do. Okay, we've laid out the damages. Now let's fix it. But before we talk about 401ks and Roth IRAs, we have to talk about the mind. When people realize they're behind at 40, they often fall into one of two traps. The screw it trap, I'm too far behind, what's the point? I'll just work until I die. This is depression disguised as logic. Or the hyper risk trap. I need 20% returns. I'm putting it all on Bitcoin and meme stocks. This is gambling disguised as investing. Both are emotional responses to fear, and fear is a liar. The truth is, your 40s are actually a superpower you have decade for catch-up. Why? Because you are likely entering your peak earning years. You have more disposable income now than you did at 25. You just have to stop the lifestyle creep. If you started saving in your 20s, you could get away with saving 10 to 15% of your income. If you are starting at 40, 10% is a poverty sentence. You need to be saving 20%, 25%, or even 30% of your gross income. I know that sounds impossible. Let me show you how it's done. We look at a concept called the gap. If your expenses are $60,000 a year and you earn $100,000, the gap is $40,000. If you are behind, that $40,000 should be going to the past, debt, and the future, investments, not to the present, new cars, fancy dinners. This is where you make your no list. You sit down and write the 3 things you don't care about. Maybe it's designer clothes. Maybe it's cable TV. Maybe it's a fancy car. You cut those mercilessly. Every dollar you cut at 40 has less time to compound, so it has to work twice as hard. You aren't cutting lattes to save $5. You are cutting lattes to save $500,000 in retirement. When you're catching up, you can't just throw money anywhere. You have to optimize. Here is the catch-up ladder. Step 1, the 401k match. If your employer offers a match, capture it immediately. That is a 100% return on your money. No investment on earth guarantees a 100% return. Take the free money. Step 2, the high-interest debt. We already covered this. Kill the debt above 6 to 8%. This includes credit cards and personal loans. Step 3, the HSA, Health Savings Account. If you have a high-deductible health plan, this is the stealth wealth account. The HSA is the only triple tax-advantaged account in America. Money goes in tax-free, grows tax-free, and comes out tax-free for medical expenses. At 40, health is wealth. Use it. Step 4, the Roth IRA. At 40, you are likely in your peak earning years, but you might still be in a lower tax bracket than you'll be in retirement because tax rates are historically low right now. The Roth IRA gives you tax-free growth. For 2026, you can put in $7,500. If you are behind, max this out. Step 5. Max out the 401k. For 2026, the limit is $24,000. If you are 40 and catching up, your goal over the next 5 to 10 years is to get to this number. Here is where the hyper-risk trap tries to catch you. You might think, I'm 40, I should play it safe. Wrong. If you are catching up at 40, you will likely live another 40 to 50 years. You have a long time horizon. You cannot afford to be conservative yet. A study of successful late starters shows they keep 60 to 80% of their portfolio in equities, which are stocks, but not just any stocks. You need a mix. Now, I want to be clear, I am not sponsored by any company I'm about to mention. These are examples for educational purposes only. This is not personal financial advice. Always do your own research or consult a fiduciary. Look at a portfolio designed for catch-up. The Anchor, a solid dividend-paying stock like Royal Bank of Canada, ticker RY. It's steady, it's profitable, and it pays you to wait. Again, this is an example, not a recommendation. You need to do your own research. The Growth, an ETF like VXC, the Vanguard FTSE Global All-Cap ETF. This buys you the whole world, tech in the US, manufacturing in Germany, growth in Asia. Low-cost indexing is a strategy, not a stock tip. The Future, a renewable player like Brookfield Renewable Partners, ticker BEP.UN. It offers growth and an inflation-resistant income stream. This is higher risk, so do your homework. This mix gives you the dividends to reinvest, buying more shares when the market is down, and the growth to actually catch up. Let's do the math. If you're 40 and you want to have $1 million by 65, assuming you have an 8% return, you need to invest about $1,200 a month. If you want $2 million, you will need about $2,400 a month. If your budget is tight, cutting expenses might only get you $500. You can't cut your way to $2,400. You have to earn your way there. This is the decade of the side hustle, not for fun money, but for seriousness. Whether it's consulting, driving for a rideshare, or starting a small online business, that extra $1,000 a month changes the trajectory of your retirement. One real-life example, a person at 40 with nothing saved started aggressively side hustling and investing in a diversified portfolio. By 50, they had built a significant nest egg, proving that a decade of intensity beats 3 decades of complacency. Now, we have to address the 2 biggest budget busters in your 40s, your house and your kids. The house, if you have a mortgage, great. If you have a mortgage at 5% and you are trying to decide between paying it off early or investing, at 40, you invest. Historically, the market returns more than 5%. But if you are behind, you might need to consider the B word, downsizing. A smaller house means lower taxes, lower utilities, and more cash to invest. The kids, this is the emotional one. Parents, I love you, but listen, your kid can get a loan for college, you cannot get a loan for retirement. If you are behind at 40, you cannot empty your retirement accounts to pay for Harvard. It is financially irresponsible. There are state schools, community colleges, scholarships, and jobs. Prioritize your 401k over the 529 plan. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first, or you'll be a financial burden on your kids in retirement. Why do we spend money we don't have on things we don't need to impress people we don't like? It's FOMO. At 40, the most powerful financial tool is JOMO, the joy of missing out. When you realize that the new Tesla is just transportation and the $15,000 vacation is just a week of your life, you realize that saying no to those things is actually saying yes to your future freedom. This is your no list in action. You decide what your rich life actually looks like. Maybe your rich life is retiring at 60 to a cabin in the woods, not a penthouse in the city. Define it. Then align your spending with that vision. Your 40s aren't a leisurely jog to the finish line. They are a 10-year sprint. If you are behind, here is your checklist for the next decade. 1. Annual net worth statement. Track it every year. Obsess over the number going up. It's your scoreboard. 2. Automate everything. You cannot rely on willpower. Automate your 30% savings rate so you never see the money. 3. Review insurance. You are your biggest asset. Protect your income with disability insurance. 4. The annual review. Every year, sit down with your partner, if you have one, and review the shared financial dashboard. No secrets, no judgment, just data. I want to leave you with a psychological reframe. We often think of life in terms of either or. Either I enjoy my life now, or I save for retirement. Either I travel, or I invest. But the wealthy think in terms of and. They find a way to travel and invest. They enjoy their life and they save aggressively. At 40, you can still have both, but you have to be intentional. You have to trade the $100 bottle service for a $20 bottle of wine at home. You have to trade the depreciation of a new car for the appreciation of the S&P 500. Remember that 2 a.m. panic we started with, the calculator in the dark? Clarity is the cure for anxiety. You came here feeling behind, feeling lost, but now you have the roadmap. You know the milestones, you know the strategies, you know the ladder. The only thing left is the work. Don't let the fear of where you are stop you from getting to where you could be. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. If this video helped turn your panic into a plan, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that more people need to hear this message. Subscribe if you want to build wealth, not just manage money. Join the Zara Finance community and let's take control of your future together. I'll see you in the next one. Stay wealthy.